my name's Kayla and I'm an education officer here at the Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary in Brisbane, Australia. Now this week we're going to be talking all about the different ways that animals can come into the world and how they grow and change as they go from little babies to big grown-ups. I'm pretty lucky to work here with lots of different animals, and I've gotten to see lots of different baby animals and watch them as they grow and change and get bigger and stronger. And I've learned that it can be very, very different depending on which animal. So some animals come into the world in an egg. Some animals don't. Some have to stay with their parents for a really long time, or maybe just the mom or the dad looks after them. Some animals are independent straight from birth. So it's really interesting, and we're going to look into that a little bit closer, and you guys are going to help me by becoming Lone Pine hatchers and growers. So the first type of animal that we're going to be talking about are birds. And I wonder if you can think about how every bird starts out. All birds start out inside of something, and it protects them as they grow and develop inside of an egg. So every single bird, from the biggest of the birds, the ostrich, to a little teeny tiny hummingbird, lays an egg. This is an egg from a type of cockatoo called a major Mitchell cockatoo. There's nothing inside of this egg, so it never had a baby inside of it. Just like if you eat eggs for breakfast, and there's no babies inside. So this is a major Mitchell cockatoo egg, a pretty small egg, but they can get much bigger and be different colors as well. I reckon this is one of the coolest animal eggs I've ever seen. This is from a big bird that cannot fly. It lives in the tropical rainforests up in the north of Queensland, and it has black feathers. It's the second largest bird in the world behind the ostrich. I wonder if you can guess what it is at home. If you said cassowary, great job. This is the egg of a southern cassowary. It almost looks like a giant avocado. It's kind of like a dark green color. Another bird that lays a similar looking egg is the emu, but their eggs are a little bit more blue. They're really, really cool. Did you know that in one of these eggs, it's about the equivalent of 10 to 12 chicken eggs inside of one big cassowary egg? How cool is that? Now, birds can also lay their eggs in different ways. Some birds build a nest, and others don't. They just lay their eggs on the ground. Some birds lay their eggs inside of old trees, in a hollow that forms in an old tree. So I've collected a few little nests here that we found. And this is one of the ways that a bird can make sure that their egg is kept safe. So they'll build a nest using sticks and twigs and whatever they can find, and then they'll line the inside of the nest with soft things. So this bird seems to have collected some cotton fluff and used that to line the inside of the nest. Sometimes they can use feathers or bits of hair or fur, and they can use that to make their nest. And here's another one that's a little bit smaller. But I think birds are just amazing architects that they can build these nests. But as I mentioned before, not all birds build nests. There's a bird here in Brisbane called a curlew, and they just lay their eggs right on the ground. But their eggs are brown and spotty, and they blend in really well to the ground, so their eggs are camouflaged, and that's what helps to keep them safe. So now we're going to have a little bit of a closer look at how that egg transforms into a bird. And then we're going to meet a few different birds and talk about their egg laying. So, first up, we've got an egg. This one happens to be in a nest. And I wonder if you can guess which type of animal would lay this egg. Let's see, I can give you some clues. This is an egg that you might find in the barnyard at the farm. This happens to be a chicken egg. And you can't see the inside from this picture, but inside there would be a yolk. And that's the bit that's all yellow. And as the baby bird is developing inside of that egg, it actually absorbs the yolk for nutrients, because the little baby bird in the egg isn't going to be eating food from the outside. It's going to be growing and changing from the inside and absorbing that yolk and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, little baby birds, to help them hatch out of the egg, they have a little spike on the end of their beak called an egg tooth. It's not actually a tooth, it's just a little spiky bit, and that's what they use to crack a little hole, poke a little hole in the egg so that they can start to breathe oxygen from the outside. And then slowly they'll chip away that little egg until it hatches. So here we've got our little chickadee, freshly hatched from the egg. Now, when it's very small, it will probably stay close to the mama chicken, which, do you know the word for a female chicken? The boy is called a rooster and the girl is called a hen. So the little chickadee will probably stay quite close to mom, pecking around on the ground, eating little bits of food, maybe little worms, because chickens are omnivores. They eat both plants and meat. And it will start to grow and get bigger and grow into a grown-up or an adult. Now again, if it's a boy, it'll be a rooster. But if it is a girl little chick that's hatched, then eventually she will grow into a grown-up hen, and she'll get to be old enough where she can actually lay an egg of her own. So that mama hen will start to get a bit clucky. She'll go into the roost. She'll go into her little nest that she'll pull together, and she will lay an egg of her own. Which actually brings us right back to where we started, because then that egg will hatch into a baby. That baby will grow, and then it will have babies of its own. And it goes around and around and around. And you might actually know what this is called. Do you know what it's called when it goes around in a circle like this? It's 2 words. You said life cycle. Give yourself a life cycle round of applause. So this is the life cycle of a chicken. Now, do you reckon other animals other than chickens also have life cycles? Do you think maybe every animal has a life cycle? You're absolutely right. Hi guys! Thank you for helping me put together the life cycle of a chicken. Here we are down at the barnyard at Lone Pine, and we've got some of our lovely chickens scratching around us. Hey, that's my leg. This one is trying to eat a freckle on my leg. Chickens will eat just about anything. They're always thinking about food. Right now, they're scratching in the mulch, looking for bugs, so they will eat bugs, but they also like plants as well, so they are an omnivore. I'm giving them some little pellets, which is part of their diet as well, but they get chopped up fruits and veggies. They love things like corn and lettuce, and sometimes little bits of fruits as well. So these are some of our lovely female chickens, or hens. So these ones would lay eggs. The roosters, or the boys, do not lay the eggs, only the females.